Very good evening, Tommy. A very good evening, everyone. I said I'd pop on for about 45 minutes and have a chat, which is just regards to the game earlier on, what's going on with the transfer window, and looking forward as well. So, if this is your first time coming across the channel, please click the like and subscribe button below. Be appreciated. 3 subs away from 19,000k. If you could press that, I'd be really appreciated as well, so we can get there. Um, Look, it was a B side that we played today against Cork. At times, it was a difficult game to watch because it's quite boring, typical pre-season. And look, lovely goal by Luke McCown. Lovely set-up play with Arnie Ingles for the first goal. And then the second half, obviously, we got the goal in the dying embers of the game as well. But look, it's a trophy, pre-season. Another two trophies to contest for. The Adidas Trophy at Celtic Park against Newcastle, and then the Commonwealth Cup as well. But it's confirmed tonight as well that Gustav Larga Bielka has joined Braga as well for a fee around £2 million. So I wish Gustav the very best as well. So we're in the middle of link with Michel and Balagwisha. We look at the price has gone down. Celtic are looking to get him for around 4.5 million. The 24-year-old winger that plays for Royal Antwerp, or 1 year left in his deal. Played 17 games last season. Why not? Why not? Let's try get him in. With Nicholas Kuhn being gone, it makes sense. It makes sense to get this guy in. But Isaac Janssen as well. We put a bid in for Isaac Janssen. This guy plays for Rapid Vienna, 23 years of age, winger, and he represents Sweden on the 21 level, and he was Nicholas Kuhn's replacement when we signed Kuhn from there. And they're looking to try milk 10 million out of this guy for a sale. It's not going to happen. Celtic are not going to go in a bidding war for 10 million for this guy. There's other wingers that we can get. I'm gonna talk about Etienne as well on the channel as well. The guy from La Havre in France as well. We done a bit of research on him last night. He looks like a solid defender, to be honest, he's played 55 games in the top flight of France as well. He's been capped under 21 level for France, 2 caps in there, and he can declare for Cameroon if he wants. 6'5", looks like an absolute machine of a centre back, and we could get him for around 3 million. So let's see how this escalates over the next couple of days. He started his trade off at Inter Milan, and then he went to Olympiacos for a couple of seasons, and they got into their 19s, and then eventually moved back to France, and he's been playing in France since. So 22 people tuning in. As I said, folks, I'm 3 subs away from 19,000 on YouTube. I was going to pop on before that. We are linked with Giuseppe Apicini as well, of Napoli, the 21-year-old Italian striker. But the only problem is his goals to games is not pretty good. It's not good at all, to be honest. 10 goals in the last 4 seasons in all competitions. What do you think of this Marsilia business? I'm actually going to pull up his stats. I was waiting for someone to ask me about that. Just 2 seconds now. To be honest, I wouldn't go near him. I think he's too injury prone. I was speaking to a couple of my friends who are United fans, and they never rate him. Obviously, he went back on loan to PSV, played 8 times for them. He's just been injury upon injury, so I wouldn't touch him. I think we could get Josh Dyke that could do a better job. I just think, and plus his wages is ridiculous. Some ridiculous wages. I think he's on 75,000 at Manchester United originally. I've seen reports of 130 grand, but I don't know if that's true in any case. But he was all right at Feyenoord, and obviously he picked up them injuries when he went to United. Didn't play that much, so I wouldn't go for him, to be honest. Definitely wouldn't go for him. Laptop's too slow to even be pulling up stuff. How's it going, Wilson? What's the story? How are you getting on? Hope you're doing well. Good to see the numbers in here tonight. Anyone on Facebook, please pop over to Come On The Hoops on YouTube. Please subscribe as well. We really appreciate it. let's just put everything to bed regards to Matisse Kvistergaard. He has joined Norwich for 8.5 million with add-ons included, which could go up to 11 million from Bromby. So no more talk about Matisse Kvistergaard going forward. Thank God we could put it to bed. I was a fan of getting him in, to be honest. Thought he was obviously scoring for fun in the Belgium Superliga, but we ended up getting a guy from the Belgium Superliga, and we'll see Benjamin Nygren soon. Like, we'll see a lot of our first team players soon. It's good to see Tierney's back training with the squad. Obviously, he's going to be introduced to the squad, like as in playing wise in the next couple of games in pre-season. So, look, it's typical pre-season. It's all about fitness. We're fair play to the Celtic fans that travelled to Park and Queeve and supported the team in high numbers today. Absolutely excellent to see. Fair play to them. I hope they have a good Tuesday evening as well. Very hot day, around 24 degrees in Cork as well. So fair play. But I wouldn't touch him, Tommy. I to be honest with you, I wouldn't. Looking at his stats, it's just not comprehensive for me. He's 1 year left in his deal. He's valued at 8 million, but the reports are saying that Celtic could get him for 3 million quid. Not for me, definitely not. Has he been capped for Holland? I think he has been capped for Holland. Netherlands, 9 games for Holland. Yeah. His debut cap was on the 4th of September 2021. But no, I wouldn't be touching him, to be honest. I think we could go out and get someone else. But look at the transfer window. There's a long time to go in the transfer window, folks. There's going to be names linked to us every single day. But just want to say well done to Larga Bielga getting his big move away. Big move. The Braga is a decent team, and look, he's been in he went on loan to FC20 last season and played over 20 games there and scored a couple of goals as well for 20 in the Eredivisie. 2 million back off 3.4 million that we spent on Larga Bielga 2 years ago. We'll take it. Someone's asking me in the comments of Heyoto Inamura tonight. I'm going to talk about him in a second as well. Missed you, Keith. Wonder where you were. I've just been busy, man. I've been doing the actual like videos on a daily basis, but the podcast I haven't been doing, just trying to fit them in. So what I'm asking a lot of you tonight is just to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to get this channel up to 19,000. It's doing my absolute tits in that I'm like 10 away every week, losing people, gaining people, losing people. So it'd be really appreciated. I like the top. This is without the sponsor, £75. So that's 150 quid I spent on 2 tops so far this coming season. This is the real deal. None of this DHK stuff. Don't get me wrong, the DHK quality does be good, but yeah, where have you been? Just been busy, man. I love coming on and doing the podcasts, but being a busy man. Just shout out to Rory that I met in Dublin Airport the other day as well. Lovely gentleman I met from Unison. He was a nice guy, chatting away to me for ages about been living in Scotland for so long and being a Celtic fan and stuff. Nice guy. So if Rory's ever tuning in, hello to you as well. Nice guy he was. And the third top is a belter, and I think it's a nice top, to be honest with you. The dark green. It looks like that black jersey with the Illumis pinstripes will be potentially our away jersey at this rate, because the reason why I'm saying that, usually Celtic are bringing out another training range. Obviously, I don't know if you have seen the pictures of the boys training with the black gear on with the Illumis stripes and the Illumis lines going down. And that's just the concept of our new away jersey that we're going to be getting. So yeah, a lot of fans are not happy with the merch this year. Some fans are a bit annoyed that Celtic have brought out a range of between jerseys and training tops, 10 tops. But look, this is what you're signing up for. You're getting a multi-million deal with Adidas or Adidas, and they're going to throw everything at you. in your catalogue to make sales. And as I've said, there's hundreds upon hundreds of times in the channel, no one's putting a gun to your head to buy this stuff. If you want to buy a jersey, or you want to buy a training top, or if you want to buy a polo top, it's up to you. It's your money, not Celtic's money. We need to sort replacements out for Taylor and Kuhn. To be honest with you, it kind of hit me today with Kuhn. As much as we're biting the hand and accepting the offer for Kuhn, 16.5 million from Como, 16.5 million pounds, by the way, which is 19,000 euro. He is going to be a player that contributed a lot for us last season. 21 goals last season, folks, in the Celtic shorts. So we really need to get out there and push for Balikwisha and push for Janssen as well, the Swedish swinger. We're gonna have two Swedes on both wings, but Nygren, he'll get up to he'll get introduced soon. It could be against Newcastle, it could be against Sporting Lisbon. Time will tell. You know, some decent pre-season games, and then around the corner, you literally in a month's time we're going to be playing our Champions League playoff. You know, literally less than a month ago, we're kicking off our season against St. Mirren at home as well. So yeah, let us know what the sounds like as well. By the way, looks like a fresh new team. We'll be impressed with Donovan. Thought he played really well. Callum Osmond was nice and sharp. Also, I felt your thoughts, Keith. Osmond is going to be a good player for Celtic. I've said this a couple of times in the channel. I've spoke to a couple of people that are big Fulham fans that have watched him play for the under-21s for Fulham. And one of my good friends, he's a Celtic fan as well, but he loves Fulham. He's tipped him to be the next Gary Hooper. I know that's big words, but Gary Hooper came from Scunthorpe United, folks. And no one really heard of Hooper before that. And we took a big risk on Hooper, and it paid off. And I think Callum Osmond will be a cracking player. And Fulham fans were raging losing him because they were going to offer him the professional contract, but he wasn't guaranteed he was going to be getting into the first team and playing on a regular basis. Let's be honest, it's a big step up. Look at Ross Doolan. It wasn't that bad of an error. That goal was good by that guy Murray. He's on Celtic's radar, by the way. That winger that we played against today. It's the second game of pre-season. You're going to give silly mistakes away. It's all a learning curve. It's all a gelling system as well, folks. Like even against Queen's Park, we weren't the greatest as well. So, but the positives today was about the occasion. It was about getting the team out on the field, playing against some opposition, even though they're bottom league of Ireland. Just getting the morale together, getting them set, putting personal objectives in the way, personal, send-ups for them and stuff like that. It's all about fitness. It's all about getting that sharpness. And I'll be honest, some of the times I was watching the game, I was falling asleep watching. I'm sitting there like that with me house coat on, buzzing all day to watch the game. Get home and I'm 20 minutes in and I'm like, but it was a good goal from McCown, and I'll take it. We got 10% sell-on clause with Larga Bielka. Well, I didn't know that, to be honest with you. I just looked at the picture of Larga Bielka, and good stuff. I was speaking to Anthony Joseph of Sky Sports the other day, and Celtic, that hasn't been confirmed. I'm just speculating this. I'll find out more. I'll find out properly. According that we've made 2 million of Kyogo going to Birmingham as well. A lot of people were disappointed that Kyogo's gone to Birmingham. I think it's a fantastic move for him. Of course, he's not going to be playing Champions League football, but you'd rather play in a decent league like the Championship, where it's very unpredictable. You're playing against some quality opposition compared to playing them then basically rotting away in the French league, not playing games. So I wish him the best at Birmingham. I think they're doing a big project. Tom Brady's going to be reunite with Tomoki Iwata as well at Birmingham, and I think they'll be contenders for the Championship. They'll be playoff contenders. Like it's a hard league, the Championship, folks, and we've seen over the years with the likes of Sunderland with Botman, and they went on to win it. It's very unpredictable, the Championship. You get a string of wins in, and then you're up there. But thinking of string of wingers, we need to get a string of wingers. I think if Celtic are not good in this market in regards to getting a decent winger, then I think they might keep Yang. They might keep Yang. Look at, but this is our second game, folks. A lot of our squad we didn't feature today. Didn't feature. You know, Johnny Kenny wasn't great, to be honest. I thought Ingles played all right. I thought Inamura, I thought he played actually pretty decent. He looks not bad. He's like, I know he's a left-footed centre back, and he played left back today. I thought he played well, Inamura. You know, looked like he wanted to get yards up that pitch, and Brendan came out and said it on record that he's a project player. He's going to be, you know, he's either going to be loaned out or he's going to be, you know, getting games in the Lowland League to develop him. And yes, he's coming from a team that's second last in the J League, and it's all about, you know, getting used to the culture. It's all about you getting games under the belt, getting used to the intensity. You know, it's a different climate of football. It's more demanding. Let's be honest. Like, he's going for a team that I never heard of before, till I looked up where he played for. To come to Celtic, it's a big meal, folks. And I just don't like when we look at. I've said it already. It's either going to be a success or it's going to be a failure with Inamura. It's either going to be a Kawabashi or a Rio Atate. Either one. That's the best way to can explain it, because both of them came from the J League. So let's see what happens. Is it okay? 25 is a big number to take, especially from the Japanese Emperor Nakamura. You know, that number is sacred. Lubo was 25 as well. So yeah, keep the comments in. I know I'm talking. I'm flowing away. Let's see. Can I get this screen up for Etienne Ute? He does look like a baller. Let's see now. Here we go. So I just want to get rid of this comment for a second. But thanks, Natalie, for giving me that a voice as well. Where's everyone tuning in from? Hope you are all doing good. Are you the fan of the jersey or not? Are you still iffy about buying it? Do you think it's the worst jersey in a decade? Let me know in the comments. Some people have been saying that it's worse than the dark grey jersey with the pink V stripe in it that we had New Balance Kevas for our last season. So just waiting for this screen to load, folks. Why is it taking so long? I don't think it's not even popping on, is it? Let me see. Let me know if this is coming up for you. Yeah, look, Inamora's he looked pretty decent, but he's going to be playing against tougher sides, you could say. You've Newcastle coming to Bleeding, Celtic Park. You've got Sporting Lisbon. Oh, this is croaking it, folks. This laptop needs a good reset. It's too slow. Hey, Amora, how are you? How's it going, Brian? In Donegal, starting with Forest doesn't fill me with confidence. Oh, look, I won't be worried about today. You shouldn't be worried about confidence. It's the second game of pre-season. Loads of time to go. We have another 5 games in there for pre-season. Don't be saying I'm not feeling with confidence just yet. Forrest is an experienced player. He still has that goal in him, as we see in the final league game of the season. Yes, he didn't score all season because there was injuries in there, and he was used as more of a squad player. But yeah, look, this is James's last year in a Celtic shirt, and he'll give his very best. And yes, replacing Nicholas Kuhn is going to be a challenge. But if we're getting 16 million, spend the 16 million. But this is the problem with the board at times. The board tend to get this money. Like we're making 5 times the amount of money off Nicholas Kuhn that we bought him for, off Rapid Vienna, and he's played less than 70 games for us. And the board will probably just use 3 or 4 million of that money and put straight back into the accounts. So that's my concern, to be honest with you. They might be ambitious. They might back Brendan, and they might get the Balikwisha. They might get the Isaac Janssen from Rapid Vienna. There's going to be loads of names linked out. So Phil says, shout out to Hill from Bailston. Can you give me a shout out? Stay in Oldham and give me stay in Oldham. Spoke before. Oh, you stay in Oldham, do you? All right, Oldham's a lovely place, by the way. I was in Oldham in February. Couldn't find a decent Celtic pub though. There was a pub kind of up past that cathedral church up that way, near that way. That was an Irish pub. That's the only one I could find. A Scottish Irish pub. Your good force depression, Nakamura, not Nakamura, Inamura. See, I'm thinking Nakamura because the 25 shorts. He has a lot of hype to be near that level. He looked all right. He looked steady. Because look at, he's coming into a massive club with a massive demand, and he's gonna know that the Japanese market has been an effective market for Celtic. You could say 60% effective a market for Celtic since we went into. Look, it didn't work out with Itaguchi. I thought Tomoki never got his chance at Celtic. Kobashi was just an absolute disaster. Wasn't up to the level. And I was excited about Kobashi when we signed them, but it just didn't work out. But yeah, look, Iwata and Kyogo will rip it up at Birmingham. Iwata ripped it up in League One last year, but look, the Championship's a different level. I like the look of I think Celtic will go in from. I've never heard of this guy, to be honest with you, Brian. I'll have to look him up. To be honest. You know what? I would take Calvert-Lewis off. Well, he's basically going to be a free agent now from Everton, isn't he? He's a free agent. And I know I sound nuts. I know a lot of people. I know there's 33 people watching me right now tonight. But you know what? For one season, I take a punt with Jamie Vardy as well. He's linked with Man United. Like, shows that he's still a decent player. I take a punt with Jamie Vardy. Just, it's dilute juice, folks. By the way, just if you're wondering, I think it's on the cider. He was wondering as well. This is it's one of them it's one of them blankets. So I'm just gonna fucking put it up on the old wall. Why not? Bit of luck. It looks like it's lopsided, but it's not. It's just the way the camera and the tripod's positioned. So I know there's some people out there that like to have everything perfecto. I know there's people on this podcast that like to fact check me. I know there's people that are dying to bite the ankles, and that's okay. That's okay. We'll find out the truth then. I'd like to see him against Sporting Lisbon. Look, Brendan's going to make rotations to the squad. He probably changed the squad at half time. And look at Lisbon be a good test in the Algarve. I knew today was going to be that type of game, was going to be 2-1 or 3-1, to be honest, which is, I just had a feeling, second game of the pre-season, very warm temperatures. And yes, it's going to be warm in the Algarve. But yourselves, that heat in Ireland and Scotland is completely different to what you get in Portugal and Spain. Different level. The main concern is I've seen people commenting about Calvert-Lewin and his injury in the past and his wage in England. Look at the wage is not an issue. If the lads want to come to Celtic and play regularly, some players will take the wage cut. Some players will. Like Robbie Keane didn't. Robbie Keane's birthday today. Wish Robbie Keane a happy birthday. Because he's an absolute legend in the Irish short and he played well for Celtic on his loan stint. I know there's a lot of people will say, would he manage in Israel and all this crap? Doesn't matter what he done in Irish short. It's the memories he gave me as a child. When I was a 12-year-old watching him in South Korea and Japan, scoring an equaliser against Germany in the dying embers of the game. That type of moments where he was Ireland's top goal scorer of all time, them moments, that matters to me. So I'm not going to go into all this crap about who he managed and all that stuff. What matters is what he done. Look, he worked alongside B-Tom. So, but Calvert-Lewin is, look, I would take it. I'd rather Vardy for a season. I think Vardy has, Vardy's playing the Champions League. I'd like to see us to go and get a young striker, like someone from maybe 23, 24 years of age. But this is Celtic typical. Like, they'll leave a last minute. It all depends on if we qualify for the Champions League. And of course, I want to be in the Champions League. Of course, I want the money. Of course, we want the magical nights. And I'm not going to lie. I know I sound very premature when I say this. I know there's going to be a few people that disagree tonight, and you'll probably think I'm off my absolute rocker. But I wouldn't be too upset if we didn't get into the Champions League, because I like to see us get a good whack in the Europa League. Actually, be very competitive in the Europa League. I think with the way we played last year in the Champions League, we could be a Europa League team. We could challenge in the Europa League. There's some quality teams in the Europa League, but there's a bit different landscape regards to finances between the Champions League and the Europa League. But it's all about winning football. It's all about memories, isn't it? That's what it's all about. As much as fans, we go on about Celtic have this money, but we're fucking fans. We don't see that money. We don't see that money. There's no point of us bragging about what's in the bank if it's not being used to the disposal that we want to be used. It's about us playing in these competitions and winning games and maybe go on to win a trophy one day. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Let's be realistic, because we ain't going to fucking win the Champions League. Let's be honest, unless we get like a fucking Saudi investment or something. But yeah, that's the truth. So get the comments in. He would be still on about 30 grand a week. It's like he'd be coming here and being skint. Exactly, Craig. You wouldn't be skint. He's made enough money on everything. Vardy, I'd take him for a season. I know a lot of people be like, oh, kid, he's 37. He's well done. So it still has a few goals in him, scoring in the Premier League and stuff. Could be an absolute dud if he came up, or he could just absolutely stroll it. It's the risk you take in football. Nonce. None. I'll have a look at this guy. He's killing it in the French youth system. Let me see. I don't know, see, because this laptop is so effing slow. Let's have a look. See, can I have a look at this guy? Herba. Where did you hear of this lad, by the way? Welch injured again. Oh yeah, I've got to talk about Welch. Looks like it's the same shoulder. It's like the same thing that happens with Welch all the time. And it looks like Welch, I thought Welch would have been getting that permanent move. To be honest, which is, I know he's had to have the captain's armband over the last two pre-seasons when McGregor's went off. I just don't rate Welch, to be honest, which is, I think he's been at Celtic long enough. I thought he was good in his first 2 seasons when he broke in to the senior team, but no, Welch is not for me, folks. As I said, I think I'd put Welch in that category maybe with Larga Bielka, and Larga Bielka's moved on to Braga, and Naroski's moved on to Hanover as well. People are asking about strikers. Giuseppe Abruzino from Napoli, who played in Serie B last season for a club in Serie B. He didn't score much goals there. Reports is that we've inquired about him. We're not well-known option to buy. Don't know how accurate it is. We'll find out over the next couple of days. But I'll keep an eye on that guy from Nantes who. The French league is a decent league. We were looking at a guy from Portugal as well. He a Dutch centre back, 25 years of age, 6'4". But that talk's actually fading away over the last 24 to 48 hours as well. So see what happens. The last competitive game I got paid, it was £12. I'm playing 4. Jesus, look at you, chinging it in back then. Inamora's good debut, but Roger said he won't be involved with the first team. He's not a Brendan Simon Welch. I would agree, been long enough, but not good enough. Correct. Inamora, look at Inamora. All he can do is impress over pre-season and maybe send him out on loan. Could be a Christopher Royer job. Send him on loan. Get him used to the league. I would not like to see him going to a championship team. I'd rather see him go into the mix and going for a team in the Premiership. If it's the Falkirk on loan, someone like that, it'd be good for him. So that's my response to Inamura so far. Yeah. Celtic were reporting that we've none trusted in him yesterday. Who's the which guy are we talking about? We were interested in which guy are we talking about? We talking about the guy that's playing in Portugal, the Dutch centre back, or the guy in France who's playing for Nantes? We're going to be linked with an absolute whole list of people. But let's be honest, 90% of them won't be coming to Celtic. 90% of them won't be coming to Celtic. We have scouts everywhere. We're looking at all sorts of leagues. We're looking at all sorts of players, all sorts of ages, all sorts of negotiations of the 1 year left in the deal. They're going to be they're free agents. Is it a loan option? And I know a lot of Celtic fans, like myself, don't like the thoughts of a loan option because we feel like we're being used. And yes, they're bringing success on the field for us, but we want, as a business, we want to make money and develop these players and ship them off and make 3 or 4 times the money off them. Look at Jeffrey Schlupp. Jeffrey Schlupp is not joining Celtic. It looks like some people, I was reading comments about him over the last couple of days. Some people are just like, he was pissed. He's not good enough. He's just that. I thought he was actually okay. Thought he would do a steady job. If we had him as a backup left back to Tierney and let Inamura get developed on loan, if it's a case to like someone in the Premiership, I think it'd be decent. But he went to Norwich. Look, this is the second time Norwich have went in and basically looked at strikers that we wanted. Look at Sidney Van Hooijdonk. Didn't work out for him at Norwich. Don't know what's the stories with him now. Kavista Garden's gone to Carroll Roads. Leave him be. If he rips it up in the Championship, fair play to him. But typical Norwich, isn't it? Let's see. Can you refresh the brains? Who was the last player Celtic sold to Norwich? Let's see. Does anyone know that? And I'll give you a hint. He scored an absolute cracker of a goal for them against Swansea. I'd say it was about 25 yards out, a volley. And he's going to be playing at Celtic Park on the 6th of September. Gary Hooper, Super Gary Hooper. Correct. Think feel. Give me a short and a day. Bailiston. Up to Bailiston, eh? Good picture of the Eintracht Frankfurt crest as well. Yeah. There's a green apple. Super Gary Hooper. So yeah, folks, not a lot to take from tonight. Most positive thing is it's a win. It's fitness. It's introduction of players. It's the squad gelling together, getting used to being around each other again. People are criticizing Ross Doolan, not happy that with that mistake. Build a bridge, we get over it. Look at Sinsalo's back in the squad as well. We'll see Schmeichel back soon. We'll see Alistair Johnson coming back from his holiday. He's had to be having a busy schedule with Canada and then a honeymoon. We'll see him back as well. Carter Vickers got some knee surgery over the summer. So I don't know when we'll see him back. I don't know if it'll be the start of the season or will it be the end of pre-season. We'll see Carter Vickers back. Trusty played all right today. And we'll see Scales back soon. And it's going to feel weird with Taylor gone. I'm not going to lie to you. As Luke McCown's, he's one of his best friends. His best friend for years. Saying he's like a leader in that dressing room. And we're going to miss that. But at the same time, we've replaced him with Kieran Tierney. And he's born a leader. The way he conducts himself, even when he was playing for Arsenal fans are loving him. the second season in Arsenal, he basically had the captain's armband on every second week. Then he obviously picked up that injury. But regards to that guy, Terrell Marcia, the Dutch left back, it's a no for me. Too much injuries. It's a no for me. I spoke to a couple of United fans today. No, I wouldn't pay 3 million for him. No, definitely not. Let me see. Worried about Roy Keane getting the job once Rodgers goes. That should never happen. Roy Keane won't be getting the job. 100% will not be getting the job at Celtic. Mark my words. I know this sounds a bit weird, but I think there's a chance of Scott Brown getting the job quicker than Roy Keane. You know, probably a better chance of Sean Maloney getting the job quicker than Roy Keane. I know Sean Maloney's now is back at the club in some capacity to dealing with developing players and stuff like that, but didn't work out for Matt Hibbs. Definitely didn't work out for Hibbs. He didn't get enough time, to be honest with you, as well. Shy club Hibbs anyway. But no, I wouldn't be looking at Roy Keane, to be honest. No, I wouldn't take John Kennedy. I know John Kennedy has been a phenomenal assistant, and a lot of the players that leave and a lot of players that are there, they always kind of talk about John Kennedy on the field as a person, that what he brings and all, like his management style as well with players, like that kind of stuff, that coaching tactics side of it, not management side, his tactics side of with players and stuff like that. Christopher Oya tanked him to the heels when he left Celtic. So I wouldn't take John Kennedy. I know he knows the club inside out. I think Celtic are bigger. The job is too big for John Kennedy. Let's be honest, look at John Kennedy was caretaker coach by Neil Lennon during that COVID season, and he didn't win that much games, to be honest. So I know that was an absolute write-off of a season, but still, not for me. I wouldn't take John. I'd keep John at the club in that capacity as a assistant coach, like he done with Ronnie and Brendan and Neil, but and Ange as well. Big Ange before I have a big Ange. I'd take Ange back before I take John Kennedy, you know. Yeah, he looks good. He looks pretty good. That Japanese, is he a right back and he plays for Drug Gardens in Sweden? He looks like a pretty decent player. He done well. They got to the UEFA Conference League semi-finals. Looks like a baller, Brian, to be honest with you. Very versatile. Yeah, I know you can play him both left and right back, but yeah, he looks like a decent player. The last time I looked him up was about 5 weeks ago when we originally linked with him, but he's only been in that league for about a season and he's ripped it up. Played over like 30 games for them as well, so some decent goals, and so yeah, big Ange all day long. Take Ange back. So folks, there's 36 people tuning in tonight. Good to see the numbers in. If you can subscribe to the channel, 3 to go to make the 19k. I don't know what's going on with the videos lately. Just there's not enough. It's like the algorithm doesn't want to push me videos, so that's okay. So yeah, three subs away from the old 19k. I would take Ange back in a heartbeat. I think Ange would come back. Look at Ange won the treble with Celtic. He had a whack in the Champions League. What else could you say? He won a double in his fourth season. He brought the Thunder back, and we embraced his jumper. He embraced his family. You know, he absolutely loved it. He absolutely loved it in Glasgow, and I'm sure he regrets it in some extent. But he had a chance to go to the Premiership and manage a massive club. And this is not me being biased in any way, shape, or form, but yes, Spurs have a phenomenal stadium. They're based in London. They have the Premier League marketed behind them. But Celtic are a bigger club, fan-wise. Celtic are a bigger club. And we all know that Celtic are one of the biggest clubs in the world, top 10 biggest clubs in the world. no doubt about it. From merch to the stadium to Champions League nights, with that history, with that fan base, we're a phenomenal marketing tool. Like, you know that way. It looks like he's aged 10 years. When you look at clips of him when he done the trophy days, the 2 trophy days, you can see that he's definitely put the timber on. And well, not put the timber, he's lost the timber actually. Looks like he's lost weight, and he looks like he's lost a bit of hair at the front. But look, that's the stress of when you work with Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy's literally sniffing behind you. He's like a Smithers. He is. That's what he's like. He's like the butler of Tomb Raider. If you've ever seen the Tottenham documentary, I think it's on Amazon. And Daniel Levy will come into the training ground and sit there and watch the guys have their breakfast before training or have their lunch, and listen to every single conversation. Like, understand he's the top man at Spurs, but come on, for God's sake. And won that Europa League. And let's be honest, Tottenham's ambitions that last season was to get into the Champions League. Simple as. Yet he finished 17. There was a horrible season in the league, but Ange just basically fixed that problem by getting Champions League football, by winning Europa League, and brought them a trophy back since that first European trophy since 1984. So, see Daniel Levy, my 2 fingers to him. Doesn't have a clue. Runs managers into the ground. You ruined Pochettino. You ruined Conte. You ruined Mourinho. Just ruins managers. Absolutely ruins them. Signed that French centre back, Etienne Ute Kinakoke from Le Havre. Yeah, sign him. 6'5", under 21 French international. 55 games in the top division of France. He's an absolute solid machine. He could be a new Bobo Balde. Did we sign Bobo from Toulouse? Was it Toulouse? We signed Christopher Julian from, was it Toulouse as well? Was it Toulouse? Yeah, Christopher Julian's from Toulouse as well. He plays for Montpellier now. But yeah. So, when do you think any other signings will be announced? I don't want to come across being cheeky in any way, John. Don't take this in a personal way. We've been in talks with a lot of players and other clubs about inquiring about players. There's been no more talk of players coming over and being booked for medicals. It's more so once you hear from the likes of Sky Sports, like Anthony Joseph or Mark Hendry or Scott McGowan. These type of journalists are very close to the club, and they have good connections. Once they start breaking a story, and if it's to go for a Fabrizio Romero about a big transfer, you go with that. Usually if it's a player that's coming from outside Europe, they usually tend to go to London to do their medical, because obviously they have to get their clearance and all sorted down in London, and then they get up to Glasgow. If it's someone that's within Europe, usually they fly straight to Glasgow and get the deal done and dusted. So usually about 3 or 4 days turnover, 3 or 4 days turnover with medical, visa, presentation, all that crap. That's usually how it works. Like what I would say about players as well, folks, I've said this a couple of times on the channel. It's not a game of Football Manager. It's not a game of FIFA. You go out and you want the player. As much as we're fans, we want the player that could be suit Celtic. You got to think of the logistics of getting the player. His contract situation, his stats, his injury record, his family, his wages, his ambition. And most of all, as a manager always talks about, it's the personality as well that they bring. We bought a guy called Lewis Palmer, and what the fuck has happened with Lewis Palmer? He's fell so bad, and it's terrible to see. He's promising quality. Marco Tilio back at Celtic. We see him in a Celtic shirt? Probably not. Probably pre-season, that's about it. So there's so much that goes on with transfers. It's not just a simple, oh, what's the crack, mate? Do you want to come up the road and sign for Celtic? As much as we see these names being linked and we want something done, action speaks louder than words. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. So we'll see what happens. But John, that's a good question. I really appreciate it. All I would say, John, is please tune into my YouTube channel. 70% of my stuff is accurate. I will do my research. I will look up sources. I will do my homework before I'll come up and say, oh, we're linked with this player. Because there's no point in me saying, oh, we're linked with Jamie Vardy, and we're not linked with Jamie Vardy. That kind of crap. People will do it. People will clickbait. People will put them stories up for you to be interested in. Like, that's a lot of bollocks. So I really appreciate that. But it reminds me of Julian. Yeah, look, that's what we need. We need that tall physical player. Like, Carter Vickers is not the tallest. But I'm going to be honest, as much as I love Carter Vickers, and he has been our number one centre-back over the last 4 seasons, too injury prone, too inconsistent. We can't get a full season out of him anymore. He's becoming like the Ledley King of Celtic. I know it's a Tottenham comparison, but we need consistency. If we want to win trophies, we need a good, steady 2 centre-backs. Do we trust Austin Trusty to lead the line for the whole season? I'd say 70% of Celtic fans will say no. Wasn't the greatest last season. Do we trust Liam Scales to be consistent this season in some games? I would say 60 no, 60% no, 40% yes. That's how we feel about Scales. I've been a big fan of Scales. I think Scales wears the shirt and tries his very best, but just faults with Scales, like what he needs to work on. And I don't think he's going to get better and better at if he was to leave Celtic. I think Celtic is his highest peak, and that's where I think William Scales is at his career. Bojang, would I take Bojang? Would you surely Bojang would choose us over Rangers? Is he linked to Rangers? I'm sure he would. He scored a couple of goals against us. He used to live in Orosky's head and Welch's head. That game he played at Batodry. But when's the top brass rub their piggy banks, crack the biscuit tin? How's it going, Peter? I hope you're doing well, but you won't see the biscuit tin won't be open, man. It's a typical board ambition. Buy cheap, sell big. They might surprise us. They might look at. We haven't spent much money in this transfer window. Benjamin Nygren was what 1.3 million. We've sold Argabielka for 2. Orosky's gone on loan. Bain's gone. Taylor's gone on a free as well. Tierney was a free. Ross Doolan was a free. Inamura was like 250 grand. Callum Osmond, I think he was 300 grand. So, of course, I agree with you. Let's get the check out and let's start signing players and let's get someone in with a bit of bite to them, Yeah. But the thing about Scales is, as I said, I've met Liam a couple of times and he's a lovely guy, and he was absolutely outstanding 2 seasons ago. He was on the verge of leaving the club, and I think he was, he came in when we had a defensive crisis and he steadied the ship, and I thought he had a couple of Champions League performances, managed a match performances as well. I just don't know. I feel like we really need to go and get a good centre back. It's the same with defensive midfielder. We really need a decent defensive midfielder as well. We've been looking at players in that position, but we're looking at that guy, Tyler Mason from Liverpool, 23-year-old defensive midfielder. He played over 65 games between Hull and Blackburn on loan over the last couple of years. He's played 14 times for Liverpool. He has interest from Braga, Ajax, West Ham, Club Brugge, and Celtic, but he's valued at 15 million quid. So I'll keep an eye on this guy, Tyler Mason. He's been capped for England under 21s as well. See, this is the problem. Once you get them caps for the under 21s for England, your value goes up. If you're sniffing around that national team, your value goes up mega bucks. You know. And what do you think of Yamada? No, I wouldn't sign him. The J League guy that scored goals for Kawasaki Fontale? No, I wouldn't. Definitely not. Definitely not for me, to be honest with you. But good question anyway. Playing mega bucks doesn't mean the player's going to be successful. 100%. Paul, agree with you. Sometimes the lower price signings could turn out to be the best players. Didier Gat is a prime example. What did we get him for? Feck all money. Was it like £500,000? Put the fee in below, folks. Henrik Larsson, he was cheap enough. You know, I know it's a different climate of football then, but sometimes when you get players on a free, here's a prime example. Liverpool got James Milner on a free, and he was being one of the most decorated players in Liverpool in recent times. Like that's where you know, 50k. There you go. There's me with the wrong figures. Didier Gat, prime example. Tyler Morton, Mason, not Tyler Morton. What is it called? Mason Morton. Yeah, they're looking for 15 million from him, but I wouldn't play 15 million from him. Definitely not. Yeah, fair enough. He's been playing regular football and he's playing in the championship and he's done well for Hull, done well for Blackburn, but I wouldn't play 15 million for a defensive midfielder. I know he's only 23 and stuff like that, but no. If we don't sign Lennon Miller, it could be a repeat of John McGinn situation. Look, if you want Lennon Miller, we would have Lennon Miller in 2 or 3 weeks ago. Simple as. Celtic have been monitoring Lennon Miller for fucking the last year, and they still haven't took the finger out. They had a chance to get him in. They had a chance to get him in January because he picked up an injury. They couldn't withdraw the interest. Motherwell are taking the piss with him. They're taking the absolute piss because you know that he could be a player that could go off and probably play in Italy and make them mega bucks if he gets another move from Italian football. Could be successful as fucking what's his name, Lewis Ferguson over in Italy. That type of player, you know. Look at Scott McTominay. He's been an absolute god of Naples. So I really believe Lennon Miller is going to go to Italy. I think if a Bologna comes in or Udinese again comes in, he'll go. He'll go, to be honest with you. Lisa G says class top. Oh, thanks, Lisa G. Thanks. I wonder who that is. I know we might an unpopular opinion, but one of my favourite players over the last 10 years was Stefan Johansson. I loved Stefan Johansson. He got player of the year in his 4th season. I was a big fan of Stefan Johansson. What a guy. He's a 30 even talking about him. He actually gave a lot under Ronnie Doyle. I thought he was a fantastic player. Didn't get his chance under Brendan. Obviously, we ended up offloading him to Fulham, I think it was. But Johansson was a good baller. He had the whole thing, you know, the defensive side, the attacking side. He was basically Joe Ledley's replacement. I know he came on for Joe Ledley against Hibs. I think it was in the Scottish Cup, away or the league. But yeah, refreshing the brain. Johansson's a good call. Good call. Big Stefan. Was still Didier Gat's goal in the Amsterdam Arena as well. I hope you're enjoying the podcast tonight. 26 people tuning in. So do me a favor, please click that subscribe button. Don't be a dafty. Anyone on Facebook, Paul Meechan, get your ass over to YouTube, please, and subscribe. You'll enjoy the content more. But I really appreciate you watching tonight. Really do. That's to everyone in the audience, by the way. Don't phone a friend. Don't go 50-50. You know, we're one trophy in pre-season. We're going to win the next 2. There's a treble on this summer, folks. There is a treble on. No, Ledley played 1 game before Johansson. And Johansson came in on the Thursday, and then I think we played Hibs on the Saturday or the Sunday. And he came on, replaced Ledley. Then Ledley was off the Palace. We wore the yellow kit with the Magners and the green V-neck on it. What a top, by the way. That was a cracker of a top. 1.6, and we brought Dembele in for 500k. Will Callum Osmond be the next Moussa Dembele or Gary Hooper? Look decent, look sharp today, and we'll see. Terminator says 2014. And only felt like yesterday, bud. Only felt like yesterday when we had that big, sexy Dutch man called Virgil van Dijk. Not Derek Brahiter. Virgil van Dijk in that team that was banging free kicks. I actually think he scored that day, that match. I think that was actually the match where Virgil van Dijk, Johansson came on. I think Anthony Stokes as well. Yeah. Here's a question for you. If I was to ask Anthony Stokes to come on to me podcast and have a chat with me, would you just watch it? Big Stokesy. Done well in the Celtic shorts. There's a question I want to ask the audience. How's it going, Davo? What's the crack? Hope you're doing well. Nice picture, by the way. There was a good rhythm to the team. We looked well-drilled side. A few more additions, and I'm a bit confident we'll have another dominant season ahead. I would love Stokes come on. I'll ask Anthony Stokes. I'll message him. I'll ask him. I'll ask Stokesy would he come on, because he might not be interested. He might not want to talk about his career and his time at Hibs and his time at Falkirk, but why fucking not? I sent him a picture on Instagram of him squaring up to Neil Lennon when he was 17. He absolutely loved it. So I'll give him a message. I don't know if he knows me. I don't know if he's ever seen me podcast. He follows me on Instagram. I'll give him a message. I'll send him a voice clip with me Dublin accent. I'll say, Stokesy, what's the fucking story? Would you be interested in coming on to a podcast and having a chat with me? It's either yes or no. I'd love to have you on. I'd love to talk to you about your starting off at Shells, going to Arsenal, Sunderland, to Celtic, ripping up at Celtic. You know, you and Lee Griffiths up front, you and Mr. Gary Hooper, you being absolutely unbelievable against Caligandi that night. I'll talk about every fucking thing. I'll talk about them free kicks. I'll talk about him when he scored 2 against Hibs or 2 against Rangers for Hibs. I'll talk about everything. Everything I can, folks. There's the Meechin on now. He is. There he is. What a picture. New channel. Your old one never worked. No, I always had the same channel, folk. I always had the same channel. Yeah. And in the cup, wasn't just him. It was Dylan McGeoch, Henderson, and Mr. Stubbs. Big Aloe Stubbs. Yeah. So, right. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna get back on tomorrow night, and we'll talk about stuff. If anything hits it up, we'll do it. But I'll get in touch with Anto Stokes and ask him the question: would he come on? And if we get him on live, happy days. We'll have a chat with him. You know, we had a former Dublin Celtic player on the channel before, Paul Bourne, the man that scored that cracking volley against Rangers at Ibrox. Paul's a good guy, nice guy from over on the other side of the city. I think he's Crumlin or Ballyfermot. Nice guy. We had a good chat for about over an hour. So yeah. If you do, make sure you give us notice. Of course. Right, I'm gonna leave it there, folks. Nice chatting to you. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please fucking subscribe if you haven't. 19,000. I want to hit that tonight. I want to get that Stillian Petrov number. I want to hit that Callum Osmond number tonight. And yes, I do have the new top. And yes, if you don't like it, who gives a shit? This is the problem, right? My missus said this to me about the home top 2 years ago. Oh, everyone thinks it's fucking horrible. But it grew on people. I think this top is different. Yeah, it's a bit different, faded material. I like the shorts off it. I like the socks off it. And I wouldn't be surprised Celtic will have reversal shorts as well, where they'll actually have the white shorts as well, the all white kit for this. You know, they don't tend to not usually wear them, but yeah. You're Celtic, you're on the rise. That's it. Rome wasn't built in one day, folks. Doesn't matter what other channels have. Doesn't matter if you have 50 subs or 50,000 subs or 1,000 subs or 300 subs. They do what they do, and they do good jobs. I'll do what I fucking do, and I bring what I bring to the table. Simple as. You know. Remember, form's temporary, liquidation's permanent. That liquidation sale is always going to be on. The new shirt, I'm buying it. I'm waiting for the training gear to come out, the new training gear, the one that lads are wearing, and I'm gonna buy all that. And the new away shirt is gonna be the black one with the Illuminous pinstripes. Mark my words on that. I know it's gonna be. And I've heard rumours from close people, close to the club, that we're bringing out a fourth shirt as well, folks. We'll see. It could be all speculation, but we will see. 10:15. That's enough for me, folks. I better jump off and watch a bit of shite in the telly. So watch a bit of EastEnders. Watch a bit of Corrie. Get the house coat out. Get the Guinness slippers on. Get the Ange cigar out. Because we're bringing sexy back. And I'll tell you one thing. That top got released yesterday. I think it's ranked rotten. Oh yeah, it is. That one. Do you see the price of it for it in the long sleeve? I think it's like £80. £80. Not a chance. I want that Kurt Cobain picture. That's in the sit room. My missus got that done from a guy from the East End of Glasgow. A guy called Venom. He done it for me she got it done for me for my Christmas. It's an absolute cracker of a picture, isn't it? I love Kurt Cobain. Henrik Larsson, Kurt Cobain, Solid Snake. They're my three characters in my life. Them three up there. Scott Brown as well, but no, I'm gonna get a big Metal Gear Solid fucking Snake one done. Love Snake. My mate actually met the guy who done the voice for Snake at Comic-Con. I'm not into that Comic-Con stuff, folks. My mates are, but I went last year with my little girl, so why not? Bit of something different. Me rocking the Celtic tracksuit at Comic-Con, where everyone's dressed up in every bleeding everything else. Me in the Celtic tracksuit. And if someone recognised me, they're like, "Oh, I follow you." I'm like, "Oh, brilliant, well done, hail, mate." Walk about, hail. Good stuff. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that podcast, and I want to leave you with this one. I haven't played this in a while. It always gives me a giggle. Where the fuck is it now? Where is it? Let's get Kenny on. Let's get Kenny on moaning as usual. Let's bring Kenny back.
It's a red card in this day and age when you slow things down and you put the point of contact and again John Lundstrom's foot's planted right against the side of Alistair Johnston's leg. But what I would say is, had VAR been there, nobody's moaning that that's not a red card. It was a yellow card. There's no doubt about it. So I understand why it's a red card when you see it in real time. Yeah, it's fast. Kenny, I always say this: football,
that's
you need
a red
to.
Card,
well,
come on,
hang fire, James. I've just gave you the reason why I don't think it's a red card.
It's a red card.
It's a yellow card for me. VAR comes in, intervenes, and it's clearly when it slows that down. It's always going to be a red card when it gets called to the monitor. Had it not been VAR, nobody would have asked for that to be a red card.
That's
Simple.
a red card in the 1970s, Kenny.
Absolutely not, Chris. That is not.
I think you need VAR to see the point of contact. I know you're speaking about slowing it down, but when you see it full pace,
it's so hard. There wasn't one moment where I was thinking in my head, I want to leave Celtic. Like
you knew it was ahead as well, potential to win 9 and all that kind of stuff.
100%. But when I was going through all the tough injuries, I think it was Aberdeen away in the league when we won the league. I could run maybe 30% maximum speed. Like if you watch that game back and you look at me, you're like, he's miles off. Like, he's can't run, can't do anything, can't turn. And I think I sat down and I was like, I need to go off here, I'm done. But the fans were cheering me. I was right next to them. I went, right, I'll try again. Then 5 minutes later, back down. And I was quite emotional inside because I was like, I know my season's over. And you'd heard all the rumours about what's happening this season, and you know if a club are going to sell you or not. You've got a feeling inside you. Like,
did they do enough to try and keep you?
It's hard to say, but there was nothing ever, like there was no meetings to try and keep me, like stuff like that. There wasn't a contract or nothing, or it's just something, and that's not their fault. It's just something at the time it made sense for everybody, really. They had brought someone through the youth academy who they were so proud of, and he's going for a record fee. And then I'm someone who loves the club. I've gave everything. I've gave like my 100% commitment from the day I joined at 7 until the day I left. And I was going on to play for a huge club as well, who believed in me and put a lot of faith in me, and backed that up with the 25 million as well. So I think it was something that worked for everybody, but it was the hardest decision in my life. Like,
let's be honest, folks, right? The club were never going to give him a new contract. They fucking knew quite well that they were cashing out and taking the money for him. And look at, he's back now. He's back in the 63 shirt. He's back. He's going to fucking smash them up. He's going to win trophies, and he's going to do that celebration he's on Hampden when he's busted him out. He's an absolute goat of a man, he is.
James, can I just get your thoughts on those 90 minutes today?
Obviously disappointed to drop the points that we did. It's obviously two games in a row now where, you know, the first 45 minutes we've conceded poor goals and we're chasing the game. You know, we have to start the games better.
But it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's not going to change. Celtic are too good.
Back, how much did you enjoy that, especially at the end?
Yeah, definitely amazing feeling. I think I couldn't have written that better, and it's just such a happy moment for me to come back, for the team to deliver as well, and again to celebrate with these amazing fans, because they really deserve it.
You seemed very emotional, is that fair?
Yeah. It's been some quite difficult moments, obviously, like ups and downs, and I just feel like I'm back home, and I couldn't be happier than this.
This is just the start. How much do you feel you've still got to get even more up to speed, and there's much more to come from you?
Yeah, obviously, like it has been a long time since I've been playing consecutively, and I know that it will take a time to reach my best levels, but with the amazing staff and the teammates, I'll just work hard every day so I can achieve.
Kilgo, how happy are you with your performance and your goals today?
Yeah, I'm happy to help the team, but I lost a lot of shoot, so I have to improve.
It was a good cross from Alistair, though, for that first one. Is that fair?
Yeah, what a ball, yeah. That's great finish.
Right, folks, I'm off to my bed, and I'll speak to you all later. I'll be back tomorrow night, 8:30. I'll speak to you tomorrow night. Hell.